We've called up Dover Harbour Control. And they've
Last week, we finally completed the process of bringing Seahorse back to the River Medway. This week, we lift her out of the water to clear off the fouling. She's been in the water since October last year, so we were expecting the worst.
Caught in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, hello! Today we are going to try and scrub Seahorse's bottom for the first time. I've just lowered the lady dye into the water. My dad's kindly come along to help. You need 3 people at least. 2 of you to kind of catch it and 1 of us to operate the buttons. Izzy and Nanny and the dog are safely up there. So I've put it down at about 5.5 foot. Because obviously the more I put it down, the more they've got to pull it back up. Yeah, it should be okay. We'll draw 5 foot. As long as we don't get any big waves. There's a big ship going down. Maybe I'll go down slightly. That should be alright. 8 watching this. So many things could go wrong.
Basically, if you want to scrub off your boat, you've got 2 options. You either get in the water and do it, or you get the boat out of the water to do it. Getting the boat out of the water has 2 options as well. One is you can tie up against a set of posts and wait for the tide and water to do the job for you. Or, here at Medway Yacht Club, we have a set of scrubbing posts fitted to a trolley, which we call the Lady Dye, and that lets us tie the boat up and then lift it out to clean off.
Okay. Okay. I think she's out, honey.
Sorry?
She's out the water.
Okay.
Do you want me to go more?
Yeah, okay.
Go. Put the chain on.
Once she's out of the water, rather than leave the whole weight of the boat and the trolley hanging on just a thin wire cable, we chain her into position.
You're on.
Whoa, she's dirty.
She is, isn't she?
Finally, we get to the whole point of the operation, cleaning her off. Medway has a very high pressure hose that ordinarily would get rid of most of the sort of slime and weed that builds up over a period of weeks. But Seahorse had been in the water since last year, and she had a lot more. There was slime, followed by a lot, and I mean a lot, of barnacles, followed by more slime, followed by weed, followed by 2 weeks worth of New Haven mud that had built up and stayed stuck to everything else. Consequently, it took me an hour with a scraper and the high pressure hose, and then the scraper and then the high pressure hose to actually remove it all. But in the end, she looked good.
Right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, hang hang on, I got the chain on.
So right now she's coming off this thing. She's coming off, lady now.
Don't spin it around. Okay.
And we have to make it 7 foot for the next one.
Simply put, putting her back in the water is just a reverse of taking her out, but there are other complications. All the ropes you use are permanently fitted to the scrubbing posts, so when you come in, the problem is picking them up and tying yourself on before the wind and tide blows you off. When you leave, the problem is undoing them and tidying them up and stowing them safely on board the scrubbing post for the next boat before you get blown off by the wind or the tide. Made a little more complicated for me this time because my father-in-law, Grandad, had to go, so I did it on my own. But as you can see, it didn't go too badly. And that's about it. It can be a bit of a faff if the wind and tide is fighting you, but it's an awful lot less painful than sitting waiting on a set of dolphins for the tide to disappear and then rushing to get the job done before the tide comes back, and then dealing with all the mud that you've got around your feet before you get on board. It's also good because it's there to be used. You have to book it because obviously it's a very popular service, but it means you can keep your boat largely foul-free throughout the best part of the season, and that's got to be a good thing.
No, I just hope he doesn't hit the wheel.
Didn't do the best of job to tidying that up, I'm afraid. They moan when they come and shut off. Yeah. We apologise.